Hello and welcome to the Winners Find a Way show. I am your host, Trent Clark, CEO of Leadershipity, serial entrepreneur, international speaker, and the new author of Leading Winning Teams. Most people know me because I spent over 13 years in professional baseball coaching in 3 World Series. And today, got a little special for you on Winners Find a Way, which we are in Tulum, Mexico with my good friends, Lulu and Lala. So excited to have you guys.
Thank you for having us. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and I say, guys, that's terrible. I'm so excited to have you ladies. I am fired up right now.
Thank you.
So we are in Tulum, Mexico, and we've been down here working a little bit. Lulu and Lala have been featured on iHeartRadio. They have been big personalities, big radio, big media in New York area, and now expanded into Miami.
That's right.
Super excited about that. So Lulu and Lala, you've grown up in New Jersey.
Dirty Jersey.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Born and raised. All right. So, and New Jersey City College?
Yeah. And Jersey.
NJC, baby. And shout out. There you go, NJC. This is something I never thought I'd say on my show. New Jersey City College, shout out. There you go. So excited because you have been in the media for quite some time. You're coming up on 20 years now in the process. And, now you're into a new market and there's just a lot of changes now. And, I think this is what's awesome about life, right? Is we go into it and there's stages like, oh man, I remember when 25 and I've had all these stresses, and then we're 30 and we're doing stuff. And now you keep progressing. And now it's 2 climates, a new marriage, what else? Yeah.
A lot of changes, positive changes, but with change, you're always going to have that uncomfortable side to it. But, you embrace it, you make the most of it. And I think when you're younger, when you are in your 20s, you don't necessarily like change. You're scared of change. You don't know where you're going, if you're going to be a failure or not. Throughout our careers, we've learned to embrace change and know that you have to grow, and you learn through your mistakes. There's only one way to go, and that's up. And that's what we've been doing. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things about change is so interesting is that when people talk about change, they go, oh, I don't like change. I don't like change. I think about that. I used to travel with an iPhone 5. And I would be like, oh, you don't like change. Here's my iPhone 5. What do you think? Do you want to use that? Or here's the iPhone 14. And they're like, oh, there's the 14. That doesn't change. I don't mind the new stuff. Right. I would rather use an aluminum bat in baseball as opposed to the wood bat. Like, listen, the ball gets off your bat a lot better. It's a good change. If we could use it, it would be cheating, right? And so there are changes that we get behind and I hear people go, oh, I don't like change. I think people just don't like the change that they don't like.
Yes. And the fear factor too, the unknown of what to expect or where it's going to lead you. I know for me personally, I used to hate change. I liked my routine. I was used to it. This is what I know. I know what the outcome is going to be. So for me, it took longer for me to adjust, except you have to change. You have to grow with the times, and you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Great, Lala. Let's talk about change real quick for you, because I'm super excited. First of all, what most people don't know about you girls are you actually the Gonzales girls.
That's right.
All right. And Lulu and Lala is the name. I mean, it's well known. It's your social. It's your shows. Everybody knows Lulu and Lala, but I know it's the Gonzales girls.
That's right. Our last name. We don't really say our last name. No, Gonzales. But yeah, it just doesn't have the same ring to it. It's Lulu and Lala Gonzales. You know what I mean? So we just leave it out, and it's Lulu and Lala.
Yeah, and a sister, Lily.
Lily, yes. Lily, Lulu, and Lala. Forget the Kardashians. It's all about the L now.
Yes, that's right. Your brother then is like Lolo or something? What's his name?
He's actually Tony. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah,
Tony.
It makes total Jersey sense, all right? It's Tony, all right? So, okay, so the Gonzales girls now, the new change,
Yes.
Lala,
Big change.
big change, is like, you can't even be the Gonzales girls anymore because the woman goes and gets married, and the new name
is Mejia.
Mejia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really big change for us. We, live together, we work together. At some point, we even shared a cell phone. We shared a car. Yeah. And now, the dynamic has changed because now it's not Lulu and Lala. It's always been me and her and me, and now it's just her and Mitch, which is my husband.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Lala's spreading into a whole new independent world. Like, I just feel like, listen, I'm sure after the show, Lulu Gonzales is going to get all sorts of calls. So watch out. Like, she's going independent. She's going to be a hot item. Like, watch out. All right. So super excited about that. I mean, it's not a terrible change.
It wasn't. And I have to admit, when she got engaged, thoughts did cross my mind. Like, how is this dynamic going to change? Is this going to change us? Is it really going to drift things career-wise? Are we going to split up? Are we going to stay together? All these things crossed my mind. It didn't cross my mind because I knew that was not going to happen. But I did get a little very emotional. Yeah. Like, I had this sense of like guilt, like, oh my God, it's because of me that, this dynamic is going to change a little bit. But now that we're older, we know change is good. There's always good out of it. And you just have to accept it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so good to see you like taking it on. It's refreshing. Life keeps moving. You keep embracing where it's at.
I'm very happy for her. So.
Yeah. And you get another brother out of it, it's always good. Yeah. Right. And so now we're in Tulum.
Yes.
Tulum, Mexico, talk about change. This place is
beautiful.
And it's one of those things that 20 years ago was, hey, come down to the beach, see a sea turtle. Now it's come down to Tulum, invest some money. There's a lot of money being spent. Nobu is moving into Tulum. So, you'll have a Michelin star restaurant, which is incredible. So lots of things happening here.
That's a high-end stores for my ladies.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, and for the men, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lala's off the market. So, I just say, don't want to, in case we're kind of confused about that, like how that works. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So you come down here, you're traveling a lot. Let's talk a little bit about Winners Find a Way. I like, the show is named after the quote, winners, when shown data that they are losing, find a way to win. You get in the entertainment business. Both of you've kind of admitted to more introvert than extrovert.
Yes. So it's weird because a lot of people don't understand that, but we love what we do. And so when there's a mic and there's a crowd and there's people, we're all about the people. So we like to entertain. We're not shy at all. Give us the mic, give us the crowd, and let's do this. And we feed off the energy and we just love it. But when we're not doing that, we tend to get a little shy, reserved, shy. Like, you have to take it out of us, actually. It's just a weird dynamic. We don't even understand it really, why we get like that.
I had dinner with them tonight. They didn't talk at all. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. So let's talk about one of those times in your life where you're facing that situation. You're in that situation where you're up against it. Mm-hmm. And you're like, man, tough decisions got to be made. We don't know. A couple things come to mind. One is, admittedly, very conservative parents. Go to school, get your things. And now you're in university, and it's like, hey, you got this great option for this make money, get into a show, get into entertainment. And you're like, school's always going to be there.
That's exactly what we're talking.
So you're thinking about these decisions, and it's not one of those just light decisions like...
it's a heavy decision because it's life-changing. And you wonder, if this decision that I make, is this going to break me or make me? Is this the right thing? Or... I don't want to hear my mom say, I told you so. It's one of those type of like, oh my God, what do we do? And we spent a couple of months thinking about, do we take the opportunity to go down to Florida, have our own show, or do we continue with our studies, get our master's, get our bachelor's, and see how that goes? For me, at least, it was an easy decision because I had that mentality of, well, school's always going to be there. I could always just go back, whether I do it online or not. I just know it's there. So for me, I'm like, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to forget the scholarship, and I'm going to go for it and make the best out of it. And it turned out well for us. Yes, it did. Sometimes you have to go with your gut as well. You start thinking about things too much. Deep down, I think you always know really what your immediate answer is. And we tend to sometimes question it and try and change your own mind. We went with our gut, and so far it's been the best decision we've ever made because from that we had our own show, and then we were called back to New York. We were on nights in a huge market, #1 market in New York City, And because of that, we've had other opportunities. So I can't complain. There has been times where things have not gone so well with us, but you learn from it. I think there's beauty in the struggle.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's lean into the struggle. What I hear when you talk through things is, and this is maybe advantage, disadvantage, is when I hear you talk things, it's always a we. It's never a, oh, Lulu, you do whatever you want to do because Lala's going to be over here. Like, it kind of sounds like you're making decisions together. So there's bouncing the ideas off what's best for the both of us. Is that accurate? Or
yes, but it is a double-edged sword because we are twins and we are a brand, it's the Lulu and Lala. And so, working in radio, you have clients that want to work with us, but it's not two for the price of one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All have individual bills that need to be paid. And so, that's not how it works. But unfortunately for us, because we are twins and they expect that that's okay, and then arguing or just letting them know, like, no, that's not how it works. That was a big thing, a big challenge for us. It still is. But yes, you say we, and I'll say it's funny because she doesn't even have to be in the same room, and I'm speaking as if she is. I'm we, and I have to say, when I say we, I mean I, but just know that she's probably gonna be in her. And when I say I mean we. It's always been together, but there has been times where we don't agree on a lot of things, and we do clash a lot. But sometimes the big fights that we've had, whether we have to make a decision in our careers, have had good outcomes. So the fights have been worth it too.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, sisters, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If I've ever met two sisters, like, oh, we get along all the time. Yeah, right.
No, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Family. Can't live with them. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about one of the biggest challenges you face in entertainment. You've been up, downs, you've been through all of it together. What's your biggest challenge that you ever faced in your professional world, and what happened, what you decided to do, how it turned out, and then we'll maybe consider whether we'll take a look back, whether it was good. All right? Tell me about that.
Well, I have two. Go ahead, go for it. At the very beginning, the biggest challenge was the accent. Apparently, we have an accent. And so when we were working in the Latin market, they're like, hey, you have too much of an American accent. You need to control that. So we're like, okay.
Like more Latina, more.
They wanted us to have a neutral Spanish. We're Cuban, and so we tend to have we have the Cuban accent. Yeah. They didn't want that. They wanted the neutral. Okay. So we did that. And when we started talking more neutral, they're like, oh, wait, but that takes away from the dynamic and your personality. So it was kind of hard for us to decipher. I'm like, what do you want? Like, can't I just be me? This is who we are. Then when we transitioned to the general market, they were like, you have a Spanish accent. You need to work on that a little bit. So we're like, okay. It was very frustrating because up to a certain point, we kind of lost ourselves. Like, okay, well, who are we? Because who we are, you guys seem to have a problem with it, or it's not good enough, or there's always something. Until we decided, this is it. You either take it or you don't. But we're tired of trying to kind of adjust and still not make anyone happy. We're gonna make ourselves happy.
I think that's a great education point for everybody out there. Yeah. So I felt like when I got into the social thing, I'm thinking hey, I've got a face for radio. And so how should I go and be a part in this social thing, right? And now I'm an author. I'm an author of Leading Winning Teams. I just wrote this book with Wiley Publishing. Super excited about it. The in below. You can find the links. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Barnes & Noble right now. If you buy it, little tip of the day here. If you buy it, email me the receipt at Trent@Leadershipity. I will send you the white paper on the 5 keys to discipline. And if you buy 2, or you get 1 for yourself and a friend or a sister, I'm just saying, if you send 2, I will send you the whole playbook on the pain exchange and discipline workbook. So super excited about that. Check it out below. And, now my publisher is about hey, show us all the social you're doing. How many impressions can you get? Because we're all about loading up that now because we're not going to buy commercials on TV, and there is some radio, you're getting placement, but now Google ads and everything else is going into space.
The algorithm changes from time to time, so you have to keep up with all the changes that social media is doing, and then continue doing what you're doing. So it does entail a lot, and so you definitely need to have that open mind of you got to change with the time.
Well, let's talk about let's talk about like our view. We make these views, and you were talking about people assuming about your accents, about this, and we're getting judged on everything, right? And so and we're doing it too. Like, hey, I'm not going to be an influencer. I'm a radio personality, And I can remember, growing up going, I'm a news person. I'm a newspaper man. I'm a journalist. And people would be like, I would never be on a TV show because I'm talented. It's like, I'm just an entertainer and I guess I have no talent. So there was this way that like people talked about it. And of course, now if someone goes, oh yeah, I write for a newspaper, I'm like, oh, they still have those?
Right.
And so it's totally flipped, right? And now you've got, when I was a kid, it was a journalist that you found in Sports Illustrated or a newspaper. They were, they only wrote for the New York Times, or they only wrote. And now you have an independent. I've been featured in this 19 magazines and newspapers, and they write for everybody. And they're like syndicated across all sorts of things. And it's the whole game. It's constantly evolving and changing.
It is.
And so how are you staying up with it? I mean, you got to move in time, and you got to, not only do you two have to move in time, but you have to do it in tandem.
Yes. It's hard. It's like a whole other career. It's a whole other job. But it's important to really learn and understand social media. And now with AI, that's a whole new other ball game. And some people hate social media. Some people criticize it. But it's how you prepare yourself in how to deal with all of it. You have to have a schedule. It has to be structured. And you need to plan it out. You can't just wing it. These are some of the things where winging it is not going to get you the impressions you need on social media. That is strategically done, and you really have to focus on it. It's a lot of work, but it's helped out so many people, social media. Like, how many artists do we know now because of YouTube, because of Instagram? Yes. Justin Bieber and so many other talented musicians have these huge careers, and Teddy Swims. Right. And not just musicians, anything else. Like there's now a platform for people that perhaps didn't think they ever had a chance. Now you do. Take advantage. Or the money. A lot of these things cost money. And if you don't have the funds, well, social media lets you do the same thing.
Yeah. And I've seen the directors too. The directors do something on their iPhones, right? And they're going, oh, that's a great idea. And it's a classic. And then all of a sudden the studio grabs onto that and goes, hey, we got to take you and kind of take the story into a bigger level, right? Yeah. So there's so much changing, and we're seeing that also in the space of Roku TV, right? TV's changed how we saw TV, which has really been evolving since the VCR, right? Like as soon as the VCR and digital media came in, everything just keeps evolving, and it's constantly evolving. It's so crazy.
Cable. People even have cable anymore? Or you have all?
I want to go back. The subscription service is killing me. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of passwords. I can't get.
Sharing passwords, yourself.
Yeah. Do you two have ink, like tattoos?
No.
Oh, you don't. No. Mom and Dad are never having it.
No, it's just I came close to getting a tattoo. I sat down. I was on the chair, and then I freaked out. Yeah. Ran out of there and never went back. No, I've done henna though. Does that count?
I want to do a tattoo on my password so I can be like, literally, I mean, on Facebook. Okay, somewhere where I can find something that's permanent, because I think as you get older, you're just like, oh my gosh. And of course, they're constantly reminding you, like, hey, you've used that password 17,000 times. Maybe you should do something else. Yeah, maybe mix it up there. Maybe mix it up, Trent 1 2 3 4. Not my real password, people. Not my real password.
There's gonna be people that are trying it.
They are right now. Oh my gosh, what an idiot. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back into what you're most proud of. You guys have been in a career for a long time. You've done a lot of different things.
I think going on The Amazing Race, I did not think that we were going to be able to really challenge ourselves the way that we did on that show. I didn't think she would ever bungee jump. I don't think I'd ever hike one of the mountains in Switzerland. It was a lot of things that I never thought I could do, and I did. Yeah, that was very fulfilling for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Yes, I love doing the Amazing Race, an experience that I'll never ever forget. And we have a new family for life.
And by the way, just so we finish in the top half of Amazing Race, these two. So what up? Yeah, what up? And by the way, a lot of people don't finish the Amazing Race.
That's true.
But I think I'm also proud of, and again, when I say I think I speak for her, is that being in this entertainment business is very hard, and you could easily lose yourself if you start making the wrong decisions, or you could get to the top very fast, certain ways and doing certain things. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we've had many opportunities where we could have taken that route, but instead we chose, no, we're gonna do this the right way. Even if we don't ever make it, at least we know we did it in a dignified way. And I think that's what I'm most proud of.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to judge anyone that has taken another route. That's your path. That's your, that's great.
Yeah. There's options.
Right.
There's options that people don't know in entertainment, right? They're like, oh, hey, we have an option for you. Do you have an agent?
We did. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh,
yeah.
So, what's the craziest thing you've ever been pitched on?
Penthouse. We were pitched to be on the cover of Penthouse magazine. It was a nice chunk of change.
We politely declined.
Yes, we did.
What else?
I'm curious on that because I was just featured on the Playboy Murders. Right? I know, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny. A former client of mine who, as a strength coach, this woman calls me out of the blue, and I met her, and she's like, I need to get fit, mad fit. And I'm like, why? She's like, I'm doing a shoot for Playboy.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I got her ready for the shoot. Long story, great person, developed a great relationship with her and her husband, and she was murdered. Yeah. And then what's crazy is if you watch the show on the ID channel, right, is that there's a lot of women in Playboy that are murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, they have I think coming up on 20 some episodes now. And I'm like, man, have that many people been killed? So it's a little crazy. And I think it's part of that decision, right? Like it's part of that, hey, I'm going to go to this option. What's the worst thing that could happen? Right. And there's just a lot of things in a dark world that can start spinning on people very quickly. And it seems like, hey, this is a one-time thing.
And then it becomes
that one-time thing can lead into your biggest nightmare.
Yeah. And it's rarely a one-time thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you turned down Penthouse.
We turned down Penthouse.
What was the best offer you ever got that didn't close that you thought was just going to be fabulous?
We've shot 2 pilots. Yeah.
TV shows.
Yeah. TV shows. It was
like a reality stuff or like for a...
One was scripted, and then the other one was reality, and it was about other twins. So there was 3 other sets of twins. Yes.
Set in Minneapolis, the Twin City.
No, but it was so much fun. We really felt like this was gonna be great. Every pair of twin was had their own dynamic and very interesting stories, and we really thought, okay, this is gonna be great. And then as twins, we're proud of being twins, right? And allowing people to see the life of what we go through as a twin, what we see other people see. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Do you two go to the annual?
No,
Twin House?
We haven't yet.
That is in Minneapolis every year.
Ohio, yeah.
Oh no,
in Ohio, Twinsburg, yeah.
Oh, it used to be in Minneapolis, in the Twin Cities.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because it used to be in Minneapolis, St. Paul. At least because, and listen, the only reason I knew that was because I grew up with a group of identical twins. So, kind of wrapping things up is also people are struggling out there.
Yeah.
They're challenged out there. And, I feel that too. I feel like, I'm also getting older, but I do feel like working harder and making less.
Yes.
And it goes less. Like it feels like, even when things are coming in well, it's like the outgoing seems way more costly now than it used to feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for folks out there, what would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to enjoy the journey. You're going to have struggles. You're going to have your ups and your downs, your highs and your lows, and just enjoy all of it, because it's going to all be worth it at the end. Nothing, there's always a solution to the problem, and you might not like that solution or that problem at the time. You'll get through it, and then you'll laugh about it. Maybe not at the time, but down the line, you'll laugh about it. So just really enjoy that struggle.
Yeah, it's true. You said that a lot. I feel that a lot more people are struggling. They are putting so much time and energy and not really seeing the results that they'd like. You have to be patient, believe in yourself, believe in your product, and just stick with it. Don't give up so easily.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites is New York's own Billy Joel, right? Which is like, hey, the good old days weren't always good. Tomorrow's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's hard. I think that's hard for me right now. I feel like, man, we're getting in political season. Oh my gosh. And tomorrow just doesn't feel that great. Like, and our options, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody, and I don't want the job, by the way, either. But it's a struggle.
It is.
And it gets way too much attention. Probably should, but the attention is rarely good.
Mhm.
And so it's a frustration. So for everyone, check out Lulu y Lala. Do you ever want to change it and just do Lala y Lulu?
Yes, should it be alphabetized?
I don't think it has the same ring to it. Lala, it should just be Lulu and Lala. Not Lala and Lulu. It's just, it falls flat.
It does fall flat.
We'll have to. Maybe we should.
We may have to take a winners find a way poll. Yeah. All right, like and see if Lala can get first chair on this thing or what. Like,
well, what if it's just Lala?
Oh, see, it's
You would leave your
never.
Yeah. It's just that you're the one who got married. You have to bring first, right? Like you just went off and like did the adulting thing. Of goodness sakes, like right. So excited on Winners Find a Way every Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, live on LinkedIn Live, Leadershipity YouTube channel, and Facebook Live. And then, of course, you can find our podcast on all the major networks, all your favorites, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, all of it. So please check us out there. And you can find Lulu y Lala. That's LULAY.
LULU.
Oh, did I say it wrong? LULUYLALA.
That's right. And
.com.
Congratulations on your book.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Look forward to sharing that with the world come August. And for everyone out there, please see us again and see us next time on Winners Find a Way.
Thanks for having us.